Welcome back to New York British Church's Sunday service, broadcast live from our Hondo Worship Hall. We extend our greetings to all of our Sangha members and friends. We are happy that you are able to join today's service from home. Please listen attentively and respectively and let the New York British Church Hondo come to you as we chant together, as we chant with one voice. We will start today's Ohigan service with quiet sitting. Today's service will begin with Sambujo, the three respectful callings, followed by Hyobyakumon dedication. Following this, we will have the chanting of the Sutra Junirai with Nembutsu and Ekoku merit transfer. Please join your hands together in Gasho when we chant Onembutsu. You may also wish to offer incense during the chanting of Sutra. Following Sutra will be the Vandana and Tina Sarana. Today's reading will be Rogemon, followed by the Gombunsho Shinjin Gyaku Tokuno Sho, the chapter on the attainment of Shinjin. Reverend Earl then will give today's Dharma message. To end service, we will sing Nembutsu together. Namu Amida Butsu.
Go Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Homage to the Buddha Amida, the Buddha of immeasurable life, the Buddha of awesome light, the Buddha who made the unconditional vow to embrace all beings. Homage to the Buddha Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha. Through his words, his actions, his thoughts, we're able to understand something about Amida's land of bliss, the vow of Amida Buddha in our life, and how we're all embraced unconditionally. Homage to all the countless numbers of Buddhas who exist throughout this universe, Jippo Nyorai, who have taken upon themselves the great practice to embrace each and every one of us and to guide us upon our personal paths of life. As we scatter the fragrance of the flowers and petals representing universal love, we welcome all Buddhas to this place of worship. Reverently, we gather this morning before the shrine of Amida Buddha to reflect upon those wondrous vows which are made and fulfilled, thus allowing all beings the opportunity to be born in Amida's land of bliss. Today, we observe Ohigang. Ohigang means the other shore, the land of bliss. So today we come to reflect upon how we as individuals can use this opportunity called the autumn equinox to be able to understand who and what we are and to understand how grateful we are for the Buddha's benevolence. As we reflect upon today's ceremony, let us say thank you and express our deepest thoughts and share this moment, these blessings with all beings. Today also, we reflect upon the life of Mr. Jesse Armstrong, who passed away during this month. We too observe his existence. We too recognize that because he has gone to Amida's land of bliss, he comes back to us in the form of Namo Amida Butsu, to guide us, to embrace us, and lead us upon our personal paths to Amida's land of bliss. With deep reverence and gratitude, we share this moment, all its blessings, with all beings by calling the Buddha's most honored name, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. 슈 무료 쇼마 조산담 이쇼 슈정안 리기지 공아 조라이 미다솜 곤타이 호겐 지쇼게 쟁건 쇼정메 saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Namandap, 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 Namandap. Namandap, 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 Namandap. Today's reading is Ryo Gemo. Please allow me to read it in its original language and the English translation to follow. Ryo Gemo. もろもろの造業雑種自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来我らが今度一大事の御所御助け総来と頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名は言法者と存じ、喜び申し候。この御断り弔問申し分け候こと、ご解散承認ご出世の後、次第僧正の前知識の朝からざるご関係の言とありがたく存じ候。この絵は定めを課せられる恩を聞いて、一号限り守り申すべく候。両下門1 We rely upon Tathagata Amitabha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our powerless self. We believe that the assurance of our rebirth comes at the very moment we entrust, and we call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thankfulness. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and the succeeding masters have led us to believe in this profound teaching. And we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Namo Amida Butsu. Today's Gobuncho is Shinjin Gyakutoku no Sho. Shinjin Gyakutoku というは第18の願の心うるなり。この願の心というは、南無阿弥陀仏の姿を心うるなり。このゆえに、名もと奇妙する一のところに、本願以降の心あるべし。これすなわち、皆如来の文武にこしまします心なり。これを大経には、両所修俗読成就と解けり。されば、 無しない作りと作る悪語煩悩残るところもなく眼力不思議をもって証明する言われあるがゆえに少女十二体の位に十となりこれによって煩悩断絶して涅槃の疎えるはこの心なりこの義は通り地図の手段なるものなり他流の人に対して格のごとく沙汰あるべからざるところなりよくよく心べきものなりあなかしこあなかしこ信心役得の書 The chapter on the attainment of Shinjin. To awaken to Shinjin, true and trusting, means to accept, to understand the essence of the 18th vow. To accept this vow means to understand the appearance of Namo Amida Butsu. The reason is that Namo expresses the devotee's single-minded trust, which is the very result of Amida's transferring the primal vow to the devotee. This is, in essence, the very meaning of Amida Tathagata's initiating the transference of merits to unenlightened beings like ourselves. This act is explained in a larger sutra as, quotes, transferring the merits to sentient beings to enable them to meet the conditions for spiritual rebirth, end of quote. Therefore, all evil karma accumulated from the infinite past will be completely absorbed in the inconceivable power of the vow. Establish us, therefore, within the ranks of the non-retrogressive and truly assured. This is what is meant by attainment of nirvana without the removal of blind attachments. With reverence, I remain. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rev.
Welcome to our Sunday service. And today being Ohigang, it is considered one of the 6 major services in the Jodo Shinshu tradition. Ohigang means other shore. However, it is my understanding that the original term was To Higang. To means wataru, or to be able to cross to the other shore. And when we say the other shore, I guess we refer to as the land of bliss, someplace that's better than where we are now. And different people have different interpretations. However, the idea behind this idea of crossing to other shore is, I think, uniquely, more than uniquely, it's Japanese Buddhism. I understand other schools of Buddhism also observe Ohigang in different parts of the world. However, the Japanese have taken it to a different level. It is said that Prince Shotoku, the prince, imperial prince, who really revered the teachings of the Buddha, looked into this and said, because we have something called Ohigang equinox, perhaps this would be a very ideal time for us to contemplate the meaning of our existence and how we can reach the other shore. So again, it is one of the 6 major services observed in Japan. And also, for reference, the essence of reaching the other shore is often referred to as, or the 6 paramitas. 6 paramitas are often referred to as the perfections of the 6 practices for reaching the other shore of enlightenment. And from the book, The Teaching of Buddha by BDK, I would like to quote, the path of offering, the path of keeping precepts, the path of endurance, the path of endeavor, the path of concentration of mind, and the path of wisdom. By following these paths, one can surely pass from the shore of delusion over to the shore of enlightenment. And quite often, people ask, okay, so it's easy to say, how do we realize reaching the other shore? And quite often, there's a story called Byakudo. And if some of you are familiar with Jodo Shinshu writings, there's a book called The River of Fire and Water, written by Reverend Professor Taitetsu Uno. There's one of 2 books that he wrote. And in there, he explains the Byakudo, or the white path, that reaches the other shore. Another story that perhaps you can refer to, which is slightly different, but the idea is basically the same, is from the book written by Professor Reverend Kenneth Tanaka, the book entitled Ocean. So they both give the interpretation of beginning to how to understand this concept. But apparently the concept of Byakudo came from Shantao, the great Zen Buddhist teacher who is revered as one of the 7 great masters of our tradition, but also he who truly was able to understand the essence of Namo Amida Butsu. It was Shantao who said that there's about 6 major practices to attain merits to receive enlightenment in that. But he felt that the most essential of all 6 was basically calling the Buddha's name. And this refers to the 18th vow where Bodhisattva Dhammakara claims or declares, I will not become a Buddha unless all beings can be embraced, in other words, saved, and brought to my land. By hopefully having them entrust in my vows, be able to have joy in understanding what these vows mean, or for that matter, contemplate their own existence. By calling my name up to 10 times, be assured that you will be born in my land. And the 48 vows of Bodhisattva Dhammakara also explains that, as one of them, that those who even thought of me once, when the moment of passing comes, I'll be there to receive you and take you to my land. So all these things kind of express reaching the other shore. But why do we, as human beings, have issues on this shore versus the other shore? And quite often, the answer is quite easy but difficult to understand. But in the story of Byakudo, or the white path, it talks about a traveler who's going somewhere, of course, and when he looks around, he notices all these different things are chasing him. Demons, tigers, animals, bandits, people perhaps trying to take his life or do something terrible to him. So like any one of us, we will, of course, we won't just stand there to say, come and get me, but we run away. So he starts running away, but as he looks back periodically, they're still behind. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Then he comes to this river, and there's a path only several inches wide. What am I supposed to do? And he looks on the other side, and he sees someone saying, come, come, come. Okay, this is Japanese for come. It doesn't mean, bye-bye. Beckoning him to say, nothing to be afraid of, just simply come. And behind him he hears a voice that says, there's nothing to fear, go, go, go. But then when he looks in front, on each side of this white path, there's one side has huge waves just pounding against it. Wow. And the other side, flames going high into the sky. Indeed, if I were to take this path, I'll either fall into those waves or maybe I'll fall into the fire and my life will be gone. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? So I guess he contemplated all of his the things that go on in his life. And I think he came across a point where he says, well, if I just stand here, my life is going to be taken away. If I take the chance Will there be something for me? And still again, he can see from the other side the beckoning hand say, come, come, nothing to fear, it's okay. So he decides to take the first step. And miraculously, when he puts the first step, several inches becomes a little wider. Puts another step, another wider. As he proceeds to go on, wider and wider, until he was able to clearly get to the other side. And basically what this all means is to be able to entrust. When you entrust in something, slowly your fears disappear. So the waves and the fire represents all our illusions, delusions, all the things that help us, or how do you say, block us from seeing that which is true and real. But when we entrust, when we take the chance, then all becomes clear. And in modern perspectives, I think maybe we can think about even our own health. You need to believe in something, and I think most of us believe in our doctors, hopefully, and other how much medicine has progressed. So when there's something critical, and the doctor says to you, well, the only alternative may be to have surgery, what would you do? It's not to say to have surgery is right or to have surgery is wrong. It is one's choice. However, in the case of Amida Buddha's vow to embrace each and every one of us, it is completely okay. And the chant that we did today, Junirai, was actually taken from the writings of Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna was very critical in the transition from Mahayana from Theravada to Mahayana at that time. And here he's saying that I really believe and trust in the vows of Amida Buddha, Amitabha. And so I bow, 12 adoration means I bow my head to the various aspects of what is known as Amida Tathagata. I entrust in. And quite often, Shinran Shonin also quotes from Nagarjuna and expressed in the Shoshin Nembutsuge. If you were to go a distance, would you rather walk the way or go on by ship, the easy way? So Shinran Shonin himself has said there are two ways. One is called the path of sages, often referred to as the other power or the more difficult path, versus the easy path, or being able to entrust in the vow of Amida Buddha. Buddhism is not to say that it's right or it's wrong. It's a personal choice. And as I've said before, the great compassion of the Buddha is, quite often we say, 48,000 paths to the Pure Land. But I reverse it by saying, Amida Buddha realized that each and every one of us is different in our own way. So out of wisdom and compassion, that Pure Land broke up into 48,000 ways. In other words, we'll all get there. It's just a matter of how. And for our school, Jodo Shinshu, entrusting, just calling the Buddha's name fulfills all needs to be born in the land of bliss. The problem, again, is living every day to the fullest, living every day with some intent, some goal, something to make your life fulfilling. So as my good friend, Reverend Kobata, who is retiring this month or this year, has said to me, when we think about the other shore and we see two people walking on along the way, someone, I may be yelling out to the person, hey, how is it on that side of the shore? And the person may reply, it's okay, but how about your side? It's all a matter of perspective. All a matter of perspective. The only thing that's true and real is Amida's vow. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. So we'd like to conclude today's Ohigang service with the singing of Onenbutsu. If you are able to, please join us. Namu Amida. Namu Amida. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida. Namu Amida Butsu. Namandouts, namandouts, namandouts. Namandouts, namandouts, namandouts.
Thank you for joining us for today's service. If you came in late, you may watch it replayed in full on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/New York Buddhist Church. And if you have any questions for Reverend Earl, please go to the New York Buddhist Church's website, newyorkbuddhistchurch.org, and click on Contact Us. And your questions will be forwarded to Reverend Earl. And he may even answer live during our next service. You may also read Reverend Earl's weekly messages there. We have implemented online donations on our website. We greatly appreciate your dana. You may also download our yearly membership form from our website. New York Buddhist Church is a nonprofit that relies on your dana, your donations, to operate on an ongoing basis and provide ongoing support for the mission of sharing the Buddha Dharma and the teachings of Shinran Shonin. Please support us. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Namu Amida Butsu.